Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12.
I really dislike to look like everybody else. Sometimes I see somebody with something, I say, I wouldn't wear that, but that's the response I get. Don't let what everybody else is wearing dictate what you wear. My name is Dwamina Drew. Everybody calls me Drew, founder, owner, originator of the clothing company by the name of Instrumental Clothing. Over the years, I've worn pieces that a lot of people say, you have courage to wear that. And I don't know, I just like expressing myself in a different way. So I like pieces that have a lot of details, but I also like pieces that just have a simple statement, but in that statement you have a lot of meaning. My parents both were, how can I put it lightly, revolutionaries in a sense. They really came up out that movement. My father was born and raised in Compton, California. My mother was born and raised in the Inglewood part of Chicago. And they actually met out here. My mother was writing for Black Books Bulletin. My father was involved with the US movement, headed by Maulana Karenga, who founded Kwanzaa in 1966. So, you know, so as soon as I came out the womb, books were thrown at me. I'm a fan of old school hip hop. It's an all over print. My personal preference, this is already loud, so everything else should be basic. Actually, a guy who's still relevant now, hip hop artist, out of Fresno, California, by the name of Planet Asia. This was actually one of his tour shirts. I like to have more than one meaning to a shirt, and so I like shirts that make you think with that slight edge of culture, slight edge of the revolution and positivity. Before I started the clothing line, I would pick up different shirts, and I've showed you some that were different. I like different. Now I just won't pick up something just because it's different. It has to be dope. Company started by a guy by the name of Ouija Theodore out of Brooklyn, called the BK Circus. Very, very dope brand. This is actually a cardigan. They make some real dope cardigans. BK Circus, BK standing for Brooklyn. But the thing that I like about this brand, real heavy attention to detail. There's a girl by the name of Rakiet Shikari. A good friend of mine based out of DC. She has a brand called The Original David. And what I like about her line is she uses all felt print. They're all handmade, so they're made to order. Piece that she did called Fela, as a tribute to the Nigerian musician. The attention to detail, the different patterns and materials that she uses with the shirt, I thought was excellent. Along the lines of hip hop, this is a piece by The Original David, and whenever I wear this, people are like, huh, what does that mean? But off the classic Biggie line, I make your mouthpiece obese like Della Reese. I like when people take basic concepts and flip it in a unique way. I really like dope headpieces. This is a company called 21 Maroons. This is a piece that they did. I'm not sure what the name was for it, but piece that I really liked when they came out with it, because they were really the first ones to incorporate like a scarf type arrangement, if you will, with a hoodie, put it together. But what most that I liked about it, they had all over prints that were African prints, and not like the traditional kente cloth print, but they had prints, and you can actually see the detail here on the hoodie. So not only did I like the arrangement from a clothing aspect, and they actually tightened up some things with this hoodie, but also like the print and what they represented. There's another piece by Rocky Zakari from The Original David. It's dope, called the Duck Hunt hoodie, based on the old Nintendo game Duck Hunt. And I'm gonna attempt to, I haven't put this on since, I can't really remember how this is assembled, but it's and I'm just doing it real loose, but you know, you bring this around and then it's dope. mean, when she came out with this, I said, I need that. Found this while packing. Actually, my nephew found this. Old school African American college allegiance hat. Last seen on a member from a different world, but these hats are real popular. These were actually crew necks, Africa medallions. One of my favorite pieces. I had one back in the day, lost it, and actually found one. Company by the name of Double Down. It's actually one of the companies that inspired my brand. It's old school vintage frames. I like old school, I like vintage. Again, using the tri print was a tri wallet. At the height of my sneaker collector days, I had over 350 plus pairs of shoes. This might be my favorite, one of my favorite sneakers of all time. So I would buy 2 pair, get one, and then the other one would pay for itself and make a little bit more money. But also a Nike Air Max 90. And I've worn some shoes in my day that have turned heads, but each time I wear this, whether I'm in Chicago, New York, or DC, I mean, you literally, I don't know if you've worn a piece and when you wear it, you see people turning, like literally everybody in cars. I mean, this is, as far as shoes that I've worn in my lifetime, I've gotten asked about these the most, whether that's a shoe or a shirt. My nephew has like a Nerf football the same color. My mother, you know, every time she sees me, actually when I wore these, she just shook her head and said, my baby always wears something different. I wear different things because I like them, not for the reaction of others. I think you have a lot of kids that, and actually grown folks who dictate what they wear off, you know, someone else. Like, I don't think all women like the Louis Vuitton purse. But I think some of them get it because that's kind of like a status piece. What influenced my style is actually what influences me to make the shirts. I started off in 2007. First shirt was actually the Rap Minor Slide Super Hip Hop shirt. Simple equation in the back, mathematics with the logo and the Dream, Think, Create, which is one of my mottos. First you dream about an idea, then you think about it analytically, and then you create the product. Rap Minor Slide Super Hip Hop, it's an equation. Again, it's a concept that I had in high school, but I said I need to freak it or kind of process it on a school board type mathematical equation. We had an 8-year-old actually write this out. So this is not actually my writing. This is a kid's writing who actually wrote this on the chalkboard. And so then we took the image from the chalkboard and, you know, put it to Illustrator. And so that's what you see. So this is not a font. The Rap Minor Slide Super Hip Hop is not a font that you can actually find. This is actually someone's writing. I mean, hip hop has really set the trend as far as fashion. I did a couple of collaborations with Lupe Fiasco. He actually gave me this shirt. They also played with the print on the inside as well. Yeah, he gave this to me at a studio session when I dropped him off. I came out with the Obama tee, which I'll show later, and as I presented it to him, he said, I'm not voting for Obama, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. I'm looking at him like, what? You know, but that's another story for another day. But I did collaboration with the hip hop group out of North Carolina called Little Brother. Rap Minor Slide Super Hip Hop. So on the back is Instrumental plus Little Brother equals dopeness. The original Always Remembering shirt, which was my second concept from Instrumental Clothing. It has Always Remembering going down vertically, and horizontal you have the name of the deceased rappers at the time. The back, which I actually like more than the front, was some of the old school artists. So the shirt was Always Remembering and then also Do Not Forget. So on the back you have the old school artists, the Wiz Kid, Cowboy Pumpkin, Scott LaRock, Master Don, Trouble T. Roy, from the song Will They Reminisce Over You. So a lot of people say, well, where did you get the concept of the shirt? And then KRS One's freestyle, he was like, it goes Scott LaRock, and Trouble T. Roy, Biggie, Master Don, Cowboy, Tupac, Wiz Kid, Buffy, Eazy-E, Sugar Shack, Prince Messiah, Mercury. Artists, I said, oh my God, I went nuts. So I like to play with wordplay a lot. So this is the newly always remember and revisit it. I recently put out a shirt paying tribute to one of my favorite songs, Scenario. I had a concept to do something for Barack Obama, who was the senator at that particular time. And to my knowledge, I was the first streetwear company to do an Obama piece. He had the book, The Audacity of Hope, so I made a play on that. 8% of the proceeds from this shirt went directly to the Obama campaign. The shirt ran in the fashion section of the Sun-Times. Evidently he saw it, because when I wore the shirt and I came up to him and I shook his hand, he kind of looked me up and down, and his words were, "I've seen that shirt before." Collaborated with a talented artist out of Chicago by the name of Hebrew Brantley. Did a piece called The Assassination of Assassination. This is actually artwork by Hebrew Brantley. Had this in a shirt, we've done this in a poster. This is actually my thank you card. Thanks for your support, and I proceed with the revolution. So that's the original shot after King got shot from the balcony. And this was the original drawing by Hebrew Brantley, which then transformed, you know, added different colors, wanted the guns to stand out. So it's called The Assassination of Assassination. In other words, get them before they get you, if you will. It's showing Martin Luther King alive, which I definitely wanted to put some shine on, as opposed to him laying out. Spike Lee did a collab in 2006. We're celebrating 20 years of 40 Acres and a Mule. He collaborated with Mark Echo on some cut and sew pieces that I really liked, really inspired me before I came out with my brand. Red, black, and green African flag. Of course, that's Spike Lee. The Spike Lee 40 Acres and a Mule logo. This was another piece from 2006. Again, the sleeve print, red, black, and green, 40 Acres and a Mule logo. 40 Acres and a Mule film works by any means necessary, 1986 to 2006. I want to be instrumental in this particular business from a clothing standpoint. One of my favorite brands also is Leaders. Company I've also done collaborations with, a company that actually gave me my first order. One of their models is Lead, Never Follow. So to create something that, like I said, reaches beyond the expectations of the masses, gives the population something that they might not expect. And that's what I try to strive for in making a shirt, and hopefully that is what enables me to keep on doing what I'm doing. And that's my formula. Shut yourself apart, whether you're a brand, whether you're a person, or through clothing and how you dress and how you express yourself.